Long Island, New York. Mr. Ed McGrath. Known to the karate world as the voice of karate. He has emceed most of the major national karate events. Currently ranked 9th dan, this tough ex-Marine has taught the likes of the legendary Malachi Lee, Frank Klaus, and Bob Baker. He grew up in Queens, New York. He is acknowledged as the inspiration for one of the main characters in the movie The Karate Kid, whose author was also one of his students. In spite of the mature, distinguished, grandfatherly appearance, Mr. Ed McGrath executes fast, powerful, efficient karate. He is one of the finest products of the Isshin-Ryu karate world. Mr. Isaac Henry, a 10th dan in Wado-Ryu Karate. His headquarters is Long Branch, New Jersey, where he is assisted by his son Fred, who under the guidance of his father has produced some of the finest karate men in the field today. He also has expertise in jiu-jitsu and is head of the BKG Karate Association. Mr. Isaac Henry. His awards are too numerous to mention, but his most valued reward is watching the product of his teaching on the training deck in his New Jersey dojo. Mr. Luis Fernandez, one of the top Kumite competitors active today. He is a mounted police officer assigned to the Coconut Grove section of Florida. He is the southeastern United States representative to Ezo Shimabuku of the Sobashi Shorin-ryu Karate World. Currently ranked Renshi 6th Dan. With his traditional karate background, plus teaching and the unique application of modern scientific American training techniques. Mr. Luis Fernandez is one of the leading karate men in the field today. Jersey City, New Jersey. Mr. Don Nagel. It was once told me by a police lieutenant in Jersey City that on many occasions, headquarters would receive calls from concerned citizens that a police officer was in a confrontation. And when backup support would arrive, they would find the relaxed, not in need of any assistance, Officer Don Nagel, standing over numerous unconscious perpetrators. Mr. Nagel is a 10th Dan, head of the Isshin-Ryu Karate world in America, a man who practices what he preaches.
Hello, my name is Don Nagel. I'm a 10th degree black belt in Isshin-Ryu Karate. I started Isshin-Ryu Karate in 1955 while serving for the United States Marine Corps in Okinawa. I first got interested in the karate world in 1954. I've been very actively for 39 years. What karate has done for me, it made me a better person. I'm also a detective with the Jersey City Police Department for 27 years. And as you can see by the statue here, 147 pounds, gray hair, old white man. But yet, I had never had any problem whatever with anybody that I apprehended because of my expertise from Isshin-Ryu Karate. I think every style of karate, regardless of what the name is called for, is great for our children today. It teaches them respect, discipline, courtesy. These are things that we're lacking today, as you can see today when you read the papers. And as a forerunner in Isshin-Ryu Karate, and bringing it into the United States in 1957, I firmly stress this to all parents, that have your children start in any type of martial art, any type of activity, to learn how to show respect to your parents, to your teachers, to anyone that's your guardian, what have you. Always respect. That's what I got from Isshin-Ryu Karate, and that's what I've been doing for the past 39 years, teaching to our children. So I tell my children on the floor, there's only one man in the world that can beat me up, son. They're totally aghast. Who? Your father is the only man that can beat me up. So that's Isshin-Ryu Karate. Thank you very much.
Mr. Nagel is the man responsible for bringing Isshin-Ryu Karate to America, and he has produced some of its finest representatives, including Ed McGrath, Joel Buckles, Gary Alexander, and Ralph Pizarro. An American legend, Mr. Don Nagel. Miami Beach, Florida. Mr. John Pachivas Sr., a product of St. Louis, Missouri, born of Greek immigrant parents, a tremendous athlete who dedicated his life to his beloved karate training. He is currently head of the United States Karate Association, a 10th Dan with headquarters in North Miami Beach, Florida, where he still oversees the training of his students. His life has been the practice and the teaching of fitness and karate.
Us.
Hi, this is Johnny Pachivas. I've been in the martial arts for this year is 50 years. Devoted most of my life to training youngsters and adults, and I find it's really rewarding to see someone get the confidence that I want to instill in them, whether it's self-defense or confidence and paying attention and discipline that comes with everything. I always sign my autographs. Always keep the martial arts as part of your life. And remember, patience has its virtues and rewards. I've had some very many, I guess I've been blessed with a lot of fantastic students around me, people. And it's made me feel that I want to keep going on and on and on. Today, the martial arts has changed slightly. You see a new breed coming in. But blocking, punching, kicking, and striking is all the same. So whatever style it may be, it's karate. And I love it. It's been my life. And I want to just go on and on and on. I wish I could live another 200 or 300 years, and maybe I could get my points across. I would love to see someday karate be an Olympic sport. And it's one of the oldest, and it's beautiful when it's done properly. Thank you very much. Brooklyn, New York. Mr. Alan Goldberg, a Sifu of the traditional Wing Chun Kung Fu style, a top student of Master Jason Lau. He currently publishes Action Martial Arts magazine. His headquarters is in Brooklyn, New York, where he maintains a traditional Kwan. He doesn't advertise or solicit for new members. By reputation, those interested seek his knowledge. Sifu Alan Goldberg, teaching and practicing in an old world tradition, the skilled application of Wing Chun Kung Fu. Kearny, New Jersey. Mr. Vincent Marchetti, a former boxer with a background in both judo and karate. He has formed his own style, entitled Michi Budo-Ryu. He's a member of the Soki Head of Style Council and the World Martial Arts Hall of Fame. When not teaching, he travels extensively around the country, giving seminars and exhibitions. Mr. Vincent Marchetti, the first man since Bruce Lee to form his own karate style and have it formally endorsed by the representatives of the leading heads of styles, an inspiration to the youth of America. Bayonne, New Jersey, Mr. Ralph Pizarro, known to the karate world as the Gentle Giant, a 7-dan Isshin-ryu karate, and trainer of kickboxers and traditional karate men. Mr. Pizarro performs many exhibitions and matches for charity organizations. His most recent was a fight between his old friend and former heavyweight contender, Chuck Wepner, who was the inspiration for the hit movie Rocky. Mr. Ralph Pazell. His power, his size, and his agile mobility earned him the name, the Gentle Giant. Mr. Bill Hayes, the United States representative of Ezo Shimabuku, the world head of the Sobashi Shorin Group, with headquarters based in Okinawa. Mr. Hayes trained in Okinawa while stationed there with the Marines. He is now a retired Marine major and a businessman with his residence in Virginia, where he still trains and teaches. Currently ranked the 7th Dan, he travels extensively throughout the U.S., overseeing the teachings of his sensei, Mr. Shimabuku.
Now we want to take a look at the effectiveness and different levels of blocking. That also allows us to manage our energy and our power a bit better, and also use the opponent's limbs and his positioning to our advantage during an attack. For instance, basically a palm punches. Most systems I simply step back and block and try to counter. That's not really efficient because he can strike me with that hand. Where I need to be is on the outside of the opponent. So we want to get to the point where, as he punches, I move just to the outside, just before he hits me. If he tries to hit me with that hand, he can't, because he cannot turn his hip. One of the unusual features of Okinawan Karate is what we call Hojo Undo. That means supplemental exercises. These are the things that we cannot do in kata. Certain exercises with pieces of equipment that you see here, there are many more. These are simply 3 of the kinds of equipment that develop a strength, flexibility, and power that we wouldn't otherwise have. These are called nigirigame. These are simply power jars, and we develop our grip strength and ligament strength by simply wrapping the tips of our fingers in the inside of our thumb, not the pad, but the inside of the thumb, twisting the arm to the outside to tense the ligaments and tendons in order to build strength in the arm. And the technique is done thusly, simply from the Sanchin Dachi, stepping back and forth. But the idea is to increasingly push the arms down to develop what we call muchimi, or heaviness in the body. This is an item which is called chiishi, power stone. On Okinawa, it's simply a large rock with a hole in it and a piece of wood jammed in it. This is also used, normally from shikodachi, to develop wrist and ligament strength. Used basically in this manner. With each hand. It strengthens the lower hips, it strengthens the muscles that are around the armpit, as well as the wrist and the hand itself. It gives tremendous power to our grabbing techniques. We're able to do things much, much quicker and to learn how to relax. This is the biggest truth teller in the dojo, the makiwara. We don't have it up against the wall because it must flex to be proper. We understand that we practice a whole week of just pushing the maki to learn muscular contraction. We also have the top planed off so that we can strike with our shuto to develop the knife edge of the hand. So we're striking and punching and pushing down. So you're projecting power in 2 directions, in this direction and downward. At the same time, the wooden base allows you to practice tension in your stance work, your dachi, and your kamae, which is your posture, which is the upper half of your stance. So we're pushing the body down for power, and then we're pushing the body in for power. It's not so important to hit the maki hard on Okinawa as it is to hit it a high number of times, so that we develop not just good metacarpals, but we develop some callus over the first 2 knuckles in order to transmit force. And these are the kinds of things that we use when we practice Hojo Undo in Okinawa.
Mr. Bill Hayes propagates his business by using much of the philosophies of the Far East taught to him by his sensei, Ezo Shimabuku. Neptune, New Jersey. It is here where Mr. Peter Urban has a dojo and museum dedicated to him by his loyal and faithful student, Mr. John Hooker. It houses the valued and treasured possessions accumulated over the years by this pioneer of American karate. Mr. Urban was once described as the George Washington of American karate. He has written numerous books on the subject and is responsible for bringing Goju-Ryu karate to the USA. This 10th Dan was once the U.S. representative of Gishin the Cat Yamaguchi. Mr. Peter Urbans. Anyone who ever studied Goju-Ryu Karate in the USA has at one time either been a student directly or indirectly of this legendary karate man, Mr. Peter Urbans. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mr. Bill DiClemente started his training in 1963 in Queens, New York. He was the inspiration for the movie, which bears his registered national trademark name, The Karate Kid. He formed his own branch of Shorin-Ryu, entitled Atarashi Matsubayashi, in 1989. He is ranked 8th Dan, a member of the United States Karate Association, the Soki Head of Style Council, and the World Martial Arts Hall of Fame.
Hi, I'm Bill DiClemente. I'm not a fighter and I'm not a tough guy. I teach the way I practice, to
be programmed to defend. It is my belief and my teachings that if you have to think about your karate, you don't know it. What we have to do is take all the techniques out of the katas and practice them with the aid of a training partner, repeatedly, over and over again, until they've become a reflex reaction. It is also my belief that if we have to think about our karate, we don't know it, because in time of combat, you work on reflexes and instinct. Also, I think it's very important that we not only become fast and powerful, but sneaky fast, taking advantage of the greatest weapon we have. That's not our hands or our feet, but our mind. If an adversary wants to hurt you or someone you love and care about, he doesn't deserve a sportsman's chance. Thank you. Broward County, Florida. Mr. Joe Hess, a former heavyweight full-contact fighter whose traditional background in karate is Goju-Ryu. He has the distinguished title of being the chief instructor to all law enforcement personnel at the Criminal Justice Building. This large, powerful, athletic man possesses some of the most proficient and technical skills any martial artist could wish to have. He also has over 40 movies to his credit, most recently The Bodyguard, The Wanderer, and Miami Vice.
I want you to hold your stick out in front as though that's the attacking arm. Just come at me with your attacker. I want to be able to, through this position, snap it from here, get my distance, go to the disabler, get a safe distance, keep the gun sight away without hurting his wrist. If I have to draw my firearm for some reason, the gun comes right up to this position. If I have to de-escalate on the use of force, gun goes back in the holster, stick is still out, and I'm still confronting this guy. So when the attacker comes down forward, the slant block is initiated here on a 45-degree angle. The top hand makes a scooping effect on the wrist, pulls the person off balance, sets him up into a ground control, into a handcuff position. So as he makes his attacks from here, I'm doing this, into this, override, put your hand behind your back. You're under arrest, you understand me? It's time to execute a come along or containment technique where we want to move the guy from one point to another. This is a favorite technique. You want to block with the hand closest to the body with the front foot, gun side still away. As I grab this hand, I'm going to turn it over, feed the stick up behind the neck, push it up forward, turn it down, and lift. And there's my come on. Put your hand on top of your head. Do it now. You are under arrest. You understand me?
There are many karate men and law enforcement personnel who owe much to Mr. Joe Hess. Edison, New Jersey. Mr. Gary Alexander, a 10th degree black belt in Isshin-Ryu Karate with an extensive background in Jiu-Jitsu. He was the author of the book Unarmed and Dangerous and has a series of training videos to his credit. He was the first man to win the Masayama World Championship held in Madison Square Garden, New York, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame by Black Belt magazine. This tough ex-Marine has been a leader in the karate world for 3 decades.
Hi, my name's Gary Alexander. The best way to sum up my background and experiences in the martial arts is that I spent 35 years of intensive involvement in all directions. As a champion in the early days, instructing military, Marine recons, law enforcement personnel, quite a few thousands of men, women, and children. Essentially trying to develop healthier, more capable Americans would be the theme. Essentially, at this point in time, out of our school in Edison, New Jersey here, this is our headquarters for our international association. We try to maintain the ethical standards, the integrity, the chivalry of the martial arts, in the sense that we want karate, martial arts, to be exactly what they were designed to be, and that is, one, a way of life, a method of survival if you have to go hand to hand against an adversary. We want it to be a way for people to develop some of the life qualities, confidence, coordination, discipline, leadership, and these things do happen if a student is involved enough and dedicated enough to work hard towards developing themselves through the martial arts. Basically, we are very strong in the area of ethical martial arts practices. As I said, we started back around 1957, 58, 59. In those days, there wasn't money in the martial arts. Okay, what that's essentially says is that people that started in that day and age, a lot of your pioneers, were in it because of the love of the martial arts and for respect of the martial arts and perhaps looking for a better mousetrap, so to speak, a better way of staying in shape, a very hybrid form of combative arts, something different, something a little bit mystical perhaps. But in retrospect, I'm finding now that the mysticism revolves more around intensive hard work. That's the magic of the martial arts. Okay, there's no such thing as putting a microchip in your brain and being a black belt. There's no easy way to gain a black belt. In this day and age, you probably go out and buy a 1-year black belt, but it's worth exactly that. 1 year's worth of training at whatever level the person trained at. To be a black belt takes years of intensive training, dedication, and development within the martial arts. And for a student or a practitioner that has good integrity, the rewards are many. Thank you very much.